What up, guys? HarryWilmington here. Welcome to another exciting episode of Couch Chat. So, have you guys ever heard about the boiling frog analogy? I was thinking about this morning and how it correlates to dating. So, the boiling frog analogy is basically this, is that if you have a pot of boiling water and you throw a frog into that boiling water, the frog, upon feeling the heat, is going to instantly jump out because it's too hot, it's not used to that level of hotness, and it just knows to get the heck out of there, right? But if you start the water off at like room temperature and you put the frog into the water, and then slowly over time you start to turn the water up, because the frog is able to get used to the temperature as it's rising, it will stay in the water up until it's too hot and it ends up boiling itself to death and it dies. So as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about how does that correlate with men and their dating habits? And what I've come to realize is this, is that if you're a guy that is struggling with dating, those struggles actually don't start at the day you decide to start trying to go for women. It actually starts long ago, way before you even thought about trying to get women to be your girlfriend or wife or whatever. And so here's how it happens, right? Let's say like early on as a kid, you're exposed to various songs on the radio where you hear guys talking about things and saying things like, oh, I'll always be there for you. Whatever you want, I'll give to you. Oh, baby, tell me what you need and I'll be able to do that thing. Oh, don't date that guy because he's a jerk and I'm a soft, tame guy who only wants what's best for your heart. And these are messages that we hear early on in songs. Then you go, maybe you're like 5 or 6 years old, you start going to the movies and you see all these movies where these guys that are nerdy simps are pining after the hottest woman in class and she's dating a jerk guy. And over time in the movie, you see this guy spending all his time with this woman, constantly being there for her, being at her beck and call. And by the end of the movie, this simp guy manages to win the heart of this woman and now they're together. And so you see that and think, okay, that's a thing. And then in your day-to-day life, I remember in elementary school where when Valentine's Day would come around, it would be imperative for the boys of the class to get girls of the class Valentine's Day cards and candy and flowers. Again, this is like early on, 7, 8 years old, this is happening, right? And so what I realized is that over time, as a young boy, from when you're first born till about, say, 14 or 15, when you probably start dating, even though you're not interested in girls at this time, you're getting all this messaging that is going to inform how society is saying you should date when you get to the age that you're ready for it. So by the time you get to 14 or 15 and you start realizing, oh my gosh, I'm interested in girls and I find them very attractive, what do you do to try to get them? You're trying to go to them and say, hey, I really like you and I will give you the whole world and just tell me what you need from me and I'll do that thing. And then you're trying to what? Get them candy and flowers and cards and gifts as a means to try to get them. And you're thinking to yourself, why isn't this stuff working? And the reason is that you spent a whole bunch of time during your formative years learning all of these bad habits, which is akin to the frog that is over time getting the temperature risen to where when he gets to the boiling temperature, he cannot live anymore because he's so steeped in it that he's not aware that his surroundings are actually not going to be an effective way to continue to live. Much in the same way that we learn all these habits as kids and don't have any context for them and no experience with them. And then when we finally get to the age where we can use them, all the techniques that we've learned up to that point are going to result in us not succeeding in our dating life. And this is why it's so jarring when a lot of times guys come to my material and they hear me say things like, don't get a girl gifts, don't compliment her all the time, wait a few days between dates to call her, don't always be there. And they hear it and the first thing is like, what is this? Like, that can't be a thing because everything I've learned up to this point says I should do this. And that is akin to me coming up to you and throwing boiling water in your face and saying, hey, do this stuff instead. The stuff you're doing is not working. And it can be very hard to change from that mindset when, again, you've had a whole bunch of years slowly getting the temperature risen in terms of learning all these bad things. Because bad dating habits don't just happen overnight. It happens as a result of years of negative influence. And so all I try to do on this channel is tell you guys, hey, I know you've been steeped in a lot of bad advice over the years that you're probably not even aware of because you've been told things, you've experienced things that are all lies that aren't going to actually help you get women. And yet here I am, I've been through the same process, and I had to have the cold or boiling water thrown on me and had my eyes open to realize, okay, I got to try a new set of things because all the stuff that I've learned up to this point is definitely not working. But I thought it was an interesting way to put that. Like, the analogy of the frog slowly boiling over time is akin to guys slowly learning bad habits bit by bit over the years, to where when they're finally thrown into the fire of dating, they are going to drown and they're not going to know what to do. And I just don't want that to be your fate. So if you need help figuring out how to get out of that mind frame and to start learning techniques that are going to actually benefit you and the women that you're dating, then go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, sign up for coaching, sign up for a program, ebook, and we will be happy to help you so you can finally have the right lens in the world of dating. That's all I got today. Thanks for watching, guys. I am Harry Wilmington, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Peace.